How did you go through the process to take all this work that you've done, the research, and turn it into what we see here today?
So first of all, I love talking about this because I never get to talk about this. People don't. The book process was a fascinating period of my life. And it's because I am a complete geek about things that I get interested in. I go, I want to be great at making espresso, and thousands of dollars later and tens of thousands of hours. It's like you get so deep into the biochemistry, all that crap. And the same thing when I realized I was going to write a book. I have this thing that I'm not going to do something halfway. I do it 1.5 way. And this was no different. So I really became a student of that form. And I also had some help, particularly with the structuring, which I knew that I needed help with how to structure it so the story as a whole held together. We did it, and again, I have no idea how common a process this is. We did it basically by locking ourselves in a room with 3 other people who I knew and trusted. And we had 3 whiteboards, each laid out horizontally. So I had 24 feet of vertical space by 4 feet high. And I had about 20 packs of Post-it notes. And I started out, I came in prepared with about 10 or 12 pages of stories, just 3-line descriptions of the stories. And over the period of those 3 days, I told the stories. And someone else would write the story on the Post-it note, just the blockbuster sale story. And we started by putting them chronologically across the 24 feet of whiteboard. Then as that happened, we noticed that a lot of them fell into themes, and those gave us a horizontal separation. Then we noticed there were certain threads, and we'd swap out the color of the Post-it notes. And the cool part about it was a lot of those themes and threads I didn't even know existed. And weird things about the book, and I'm not sure how many people may have read it, but there's a lot of transportation stuff in the book. In other words, that the book starts in a car. The book ends in a car. My father talks about building trains. There's all these different ways of travel, which has nothing to do with Netflix, but yet it kept coming through. And you go, it's so interesting that we can subconsciously use those things as threads to tie things together, and no one's going to notice them, but they're there. And I go, what a cool thing.
Yeah.
Also, you're going to tell me how much of a novice I am because I can't pronounce it. Is it archetype? Archetype?
Yeah,
archetype.
That's how I would say it. So I don't know if it's right, but at least we're saying it both wrong. We're saying it wrong.
I didn't know I had read about them because I took composition in college 79 or 80 years ago, whenever that was. And I knew it, but I'd never used it.
Right.
That shorthand of recognizing who are these characters and how do I avoid them having contradictory points so people get confused, but how do they have reinforcing points so I can just describe someone in 4 sentences and people immediately fill in 30 pages of background and context and color.